Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome into a special edition of Unbreakable Wisdom, the show. We are launching the Prosperity School this morning, so you can run over there and see what's going on at unbreakablewisdom.com. We are launching that site as the master site, so now you can go and watch a show anytime you want. You can listen to the show, and you can get access to the school. And we've got a special code for you this morning, which will drop periodically throughout the show. But write this down. It's birthday in all capital letters. Okay, so write that down, and we're going to tell you what it means, but you'll want to remember what it is. Write it down. Birthday. And it's good until 11:55 on Monday, which is actually my birthday. So, so I built a prosperity school, which is filled with all the stuff that we talk about on the show, except in class form. And there is also a professional series with communication and branding are the first two classes in the professional series. Everything is very inexpensive. And with the 40% off code, which is good on the bundles only. So if you want to take classes inside the school, the best way to do it is in a bundle. There are two bundles. The code birthday gives you 40% off until Monday at 11:55 p.m. I just want to start with that in case anyone just chimes in and watches the first few minutes of the show. I want you to get the code. Okay, so why build a school? Who cares? I've been studying prosperity principles for 50 years as of Monday. 50 years. That's a long time. Teaching them since I was 19. So I think that's 38 years. Oh, look, April's with us. Good morning, Beth, Missy, April. Okay, so you teach something and learn something for 50 years, and then you feel like you should share that wisdom. So hence the name Unbreakable Wisdom. Tracy has been studying and been my friend and been part of my team for 30 years and counting. And Karen's been my friend, and I've worked with her, and she's been part of my team for like 3 or 4 years and counting. So we have some seasoned people with us, and they will chime in here in a minute. What I have discovered since I left my corporate clients at the end of April and tried to decide what the next iteration of my work in the world would be, I have discovered that people get in their own way a lot. I have discovered that they have good intentions, and lots of times they have some of the wisdom and they just get stuck, and they don't have the right practices or tools, or nobody's kicking their butt enough to push, or they get stuck. They just stall. They stop, or they know some stuff and then they practice that and then they stop, and then they're stuck and they get in their own way. And I thought, what is the best way to address this at scale? Because most people can't afford my hourly rates. So the best thing that I could think of to do was turn my work to one to many. And the best way that I could think of to do that was to build a school. And the next best way to do that will be to build a community that you pay to get into. And that's the next thing that's coming. So that's on the way in the fall. And we'll be doing a challenge off the show. So there's lots of good things coming. So you're going to see me do something I've never done with this brand. You're going to see me show up more. You're going to see me talk to you more. You're going to see me want to help you more and point you in directions that will take you to the life that you want to build for yourself versus the one that you're settling for. I am dedicating the rest of my life to this work, to the one to many. So this morning, right before my 57th birthday, which is on Monday, right before 5 years of my mother's passing, which is on Tuesday, I am bringing you Unbreakable Wisdom. So there's lots of different ways you can participate. You can go and just simply watch a show and join the newsletter. And I ask you please to do that so you can just see what we're doing and what's going on. Or you can go to Unbreakable Wisdom and click the school logo, and you can watch my intro video, and you can get into the course catalog, and you can take a free class. There are plenty of things you can do here for free. And then you can buy stuff if you want, and you can use the code birthday to save 40% off on the bundle purchases. So that's my commercial for the school. We'll hit you again before we end the show. I don't usually like to sell or do commercials or things like that, but it occurs to me that the only way that I can help you is if you know that the work is there. And the only way that you're going to know that the work is there is for me to tell you. So I am trying to find the most elegant way to do that. You'll see a couple of emails from me when you join the newsletter. There are only 3. When you take a course, you might see an email from me or 2. I am being very mindful of not clogging up your inbox with things that are not useful. I am being very mindful to put something for you in every email that I send you. And I would ask you to share this. I would ask you to share this show, share the site, encourage people to go take a free class. The only way that we're going to change the world is if we try. And the only way that we're going to change the world is if we show people that they have the power, that they are not lacking anything. All they are lacking maybe is the tools and the firecracker under their ass. And I'm that person. That's my job. So I will give you to Tracy and Karen, and they're going to chime in on how people get in their own way, because we thought, what could we talk to you about this morning that shows why I did this and why they've been supporting me to do this. And it's because people get in their own way. They just get stuck. Tracy and Karen both been coaching people for a lot of years. So Trace, what do you have to say about all that?
Yeah, one thing that I was sharing with you, I didn't get to finish, was that if we're not always speaking into what it is that we want to have come into fruition, and it kind of like just settles down, and then the outside elements come in and cover it and change it and move it, in the opposite of what we desire, it gets rusty, right? And so we have to, the wheels, they get stuck, and so you have to be on a constant. It doesn't have to be magnanimous every day, but it has to be consistent of something. So if you're a little bit tired of getting in your own way, or you have a story getting in your own way, you just have to do one thing that, and for me, I like to write down so it reminds me what I said. This is what I said. This is what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. It can be 10 minutes. And that helps the wheels keep going instead of getting rusty. Well, if it is rusty, and you just get out the things that are required to change it. You think about the Tin Man with a little bit of oil, right? And then he starts moving again. So it's just change the dialogue that you have yourself. Don't make yourself wrong if you don't have the 2 hours that you said you needed to sit down and do the thing, whatever, that to promise and to stay true to what you said, even if it's first time. That worked for me.
Right. Your internet's going in and out. You're like skipping words. What Tracy's saying is you get rusty when you don't practice. That's what this whole thing is about, right? This whole thing is about practice. There's a Prosperity 101 course in there. There's one on self-worth. There's one on forgiveness. There's one on fearlessness. There's one on communication. There's one on the fact that you're a brand. If you are, because you are a brand. Even if you don't have a business, by the way, hello, you are a brand. Because every time you walk into a room, people think something about you. And I'm saying you ought to know what that is. And you ought to direct that narrative. You ought to direct the narrative of what people are going to say about you when you leave the room. And that is all wrapped into how you show up. So there's a course called Brand You in there. There is a free one called The Prospering Power of Charm. There is a free one called Reality Check, which shows you how to move yourself up and down successfully on the emotional scale. There is one called Be Happy, or Choose Happy rather. And that just gives you 5 simple ways to be happier every day. And the stuff is very reasonably priced, guys. It's like $39, $49, $79. The professional series, the communication course, is $197. It's a little bit more because there's a little bit more to it. Other than that, everything is under $200. And if you use that code birthday, you will save 40% on the bundle. So you can literally if you get the Game Changer bundle, you can get almost everything in the school for $118 through almost like midnight on my birthday. Karen, you've watched people. Karen works in HR. She sees people stuck and get in their own way all the time. What do you have to say?
Every day I see it.
Tell us more.
Well, I get in my own way all the time. I've been in my own way for the past year. So I think...
Oh, tell me more.
It was cool. When I went through the courses, it was the 101 one, the free one, is a great refresh because
That's the reality check one.
that's the
Yeah.
reality check one.
Yeah.
So the
And
reality check one's a great refresh, and the 101 is great because even if you've been doing this for a long time, sometimes you need to go back to basics, right? Like they say
yeah,
that a lot in workout classes. If anyone's taken like yoga or Pilates or any of those types of classes, the instructors always say, even if you're at a level 2, try going back to a level 1 class just to go back to the basics.
right.
So I felt really good about a lot of the refresh, particularly what Noelle was talking about when it comes to the different levels of your vibration. And you can't just go from discontent to like happy and joyful. So I think getting in your own way, like there's a lot of ego with it too, right? Because for me, doing this under Noelle for a couple of years, I'm like, I'm not going, I felt a little bit of an ego of like, am I really going to start over in my practice? But I'd have to because it fell off. It fell off,
Right.
guys, almost for a year. I mean, you haven't seen me on here for almost a year. So that's getting in your own way. That is the basics of getting in your own way.
And why? Tell us how come it falls off? Like, why do you think it fell off?
I think it fell off because I got a new job. I started in corporate America, and call it what it is. It's a lot of people don't practice this and that type of environment. And I think I moved. There was environmental things. There was I call it a situationship because it wasn't really a relationship with someone that I got into that wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
There's just a lot. And I think that sometimes you think you're not too good, but I don't need to do this every morning. I don't need to book in the beginning of my end of my day.
Right.
I'm good. And then months go by.
But it makes a difference, right? Because I mean, here's what I don't fall off on my morning practice, but guys, I fall off on other stuff. Like the last 3 weeks, like I made a promise to God that I would launch this school and build it before my birthday, an event, and that was on July 25th. And I thought in my mind that meant I would do 2 courses and put them there. And instead, God had a different idea. So there are 9 courses on the school. And there are 6 digital downloads that you can examine and look at and all of that. Okay. So you can only imagine what the last, I don't even know. It's almost 4 weeks. On Monday, I guess it will be 4 weeks. I fell off on, I have not been working out. I fell off on like eating the right stuff. That doesn't make me sick. Yesterday, full disclosure, I had a migraine all day because the day before I ate so much Hu chocolate. And I've been eating Hu chocolate for 3 weeks and I don't eat that stuff. So literally my body now is in violent rebellion, is like, yo, honey, no. So we all fall off. And that's why the next iteration of this, like coming behind the school, is a community where it's going to be a very limited number of people. We're only going to take 200 people and you're going to have access to me 24/7 inside the community. And access to Tracy and Karen and Janet and Missy, like my core group of students, which is about 7 or 8, they are going to be inside the community as well. And you can talk to us in real time on the boards and tell us what's going on for you, and we'll help you. Because the truth is, without like-minded people around you, you can take all the courses in the world, you can do all the work in the world, and it's good for when it's good. And then you think you're good, like Karen said, and then you're not so good. And then you feel like she said, she felt kind of stupid or embarrassed, or like, why should she go back to 0? Do you know how many times I read, like I have a basic core set of books that are, prosperity principle, all this stuff. I read those probably at least once a year, sometimes more than that. And every time I read it or every time I do a course that I've done before, like I learn something new. Because here's what happens. Every time you do the work, you're a different version of you. And every time you do the work, you're open to hear something different. You will take a course from me and it will help you for where you're at right now. And the good news is you get lifetime access to this stuff, guys. So what you're paying, the small amount that you're paying, honestly, small amount, you're getting lifetime access. So you can go back and fiddle with it as much as you want. Also, Teachable has an app for iPhones and iPads. So that means you can download the Teachable app and you can literally go to the laundromat and take the course, or be sitting waiting for your kids in the parking lot and be listening to something that's going to forward the action for you. You have to remind yourself, because the next time you do it, it's I missed that. Or, oh yeah, I got to do that. Or I have to be better at that. One of you guys want to say something about that? Because Tracy, you're like me. You've gone over and over. Oh, maybe your internet has stabilized. Say something. Trace. Oh, no, she's still destabilized.
The app's great. I was using the app. I was up in Maryland last week, and I was just sitting outside, and it was great for that. But yeah, it's an ego thing. You don't want to go back sometimes, and
right.
And you have to,
because we already know, right? I already know that. I already know that. I don't need that.
No. Or it's like, or sometimes you think you've gone too far in. Like, oh, well, I'm already doing this. Oh, I haven't worked out almost all summer. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been very sporadic. And like I said, the last month has been junk. So, yeah. I mean, and I got to get my shit together. I do. Because I'm old. If I don't do the stuff, it's like, it's not nice.
This is always a good time of year. We always talk about that on this show. The fall and coming back to school should be your New Year's.
Right.
January 1st should not be your New Year's.
I agree. 100%. 100%. And in the spirit of that, on September 20th on the show, we're going to launch Autumn Alignment, which is going to be a challenge. Like, you see all these people doing these challenges, like 6 days, 2 days, 3 days, except I'm going to do a challenge using the show, and you'll be able to register for the challenge to get this free workbook that we're creating. I'm having our graphics designer create this amazing and fun workbook for you. So we'll start talking about that in the few weeks to come. Like, in the run up to that, we'll get you a landing page so you can sign up for the challenge and get the workbook. But we're going to do it right here. We're going to use the show, and we've got 6 things that will help point you in the right direction so that you can finish the year strong. Exactly what Karen is saying, right? Like, it's never done. And it's like every morning when I take a shower and then I have to dry my hair and I'm putting on makeup, and some mornings I'm like, oh my effing God, like, again, like the same thing again, like, again. Yeah, again. Because what's the alternative? 6 feet under, right? And then you don't have to do anything. So there is nothing wrong with you if you're like going and then you're stuck and then you go again and then you're stuck and then you go. Like, this is life. This is life. And this is why community is important, right? And this is why I realized that if I were to figure out how to make the biggest impact with my work, it's to scale. It's to go one to many. But do it in a small, contained, like I said, that this community that we're going to introduce is only 200 people, and I'm capping it. And then those 200 people will get an invitation to do a live training, a live workshop with me twice a year, to actually come to New Hampshire or Vermont. I probably will do it in New Hampshire because it's a lot easier for people to fly into New Hampshire. Especially Tracy and Karen, because hopefully they'll join me. And I think Beth and Janet and some of the other ladies might join us as well. So that's the thing. You need help. And how I know is I need help. And how I know is Tracy frequently needs help. And so does Karen. And so does Janet and Beth and Missy and all of our core folks. Like, and my husband's letting you all know, that's John he's commenting on the comments here. He's saying he's always there too. Yes, he's going to be in the community too. And the community is for men and women, by the way. It is not exclusive to women, because there are men that are our followers and do watch the show, such as my husband, and are studying these same principles. And we want to invite everyone. So again, community is coming, but I want you to understand that the school is the beginning of a new trajectory of the work. And Unbreakable Wisdom is the new brand. And that is because all of these things we are talking about, these are components of unbreakable wisdom. Like there's certain unbreakable wisdom in life that no matter what, that's always the truth, right? And that is what I want to share. And this new iteration isn't just about me, because in the community, as I said, you're going to have Karen, and you're going to have Tracy, and you're going to have John, and you're going to have Janet and Beth and Bethany and Michelle and Missy. I think I covered all of us. And we're going to be in there to help you, to talk to you. And the first step in all of those conversations is the stuff that's on the school. So there are some basic things that we would like you to know and learn before you even think about coming into the community. Stuff like Karen was saying, like bookending your days and, just being more disciplined and learning how to control your energetics and learning how not to be reactive. So Karen, you did the emotional scale course. And that's a free one, you guys, too. That's reality check.
Yeah.
Free. So how is that helpful? Like
that's helpful. Okay. That I was just telling my mom this the other day because she had some ailments, and it's very helpful because you don't feel so overwhelmed. Like if you feel discontent, let me give you the word like discontent, for instance, you can't immediately go to joyful. You need to go to content. I think that whatever is below content, that's how I was feeling in that day. You just need to go to content. Okay, this is fun. This is good. This is good. Right. This is good enough. So it's very helpful of not feeling overwhelmed or down on yourself. Because if you're like an overachiever, you just want to get to joyful right away. There's a lot of other steps to get there. Right. And it's okay to not have that. So that is huge. I think that is huge if you're in a certain place right now and going through that.
Yeah, I think when I think about people that are, again, we always make this disclaimer. If you are actually suffering from clinical depression, we advise you to go and seek help for that. So the kind of like getting out of your own way that we're always talking about on the show is, when you can do that, when you're able to navigate yourself with your own emotions and move through them without, having to take a prescription or something. So nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that we are not psychotherapists, we are not psychiatrists, and we are not wanting to make things seem impossible for you if you feel like things are super impossible. So for sure, always seek professional help if you're suffering from, true clinical depression. If you are just feeling sad and apathetic and sort of in your own way, that's the kind of stuff we're speaking to. By the way, all three of us are certified coaches, just in case anyone doesn't know that. So Karen and Tracy and myself. So when you feel apathetic or fearful, if you can get to anger or even boredom, that's a much higher state. So like Karen's saying, like lots of times some of these things will be like, oh, you should just be happy. Like, what do they call that? Toxic positivity, right? Karen knows all the buzzwords. I don't know them all. Toxic positivity is trying to force you up on top of your feelings is kind of the way I look at that. Because if you are feeling really bad and yucky, you probably can't get to euphoria. Maybe you can get to pissed off. And that is actually a really high place, believe it or not. So the course called Reality Check, the Prosperity Primer, is 100% free. And you ought to run there and take it because it will help you. It will help you figure out how to navigate your emotions throughout the day. And just reach, as Gabby Bernstein says, reach for the next highest thing. Just go step by step. This whole school isn't about forcing you to change or making you think that something isn't okay with the way you are. I am all about giving you the tools to get there at your own pace and maybe light a little bit of a fire under your ass to get there, but not beat you over the head with it, which is why the school is recorded courses, right? Because then you can take it at your own pace. I've been doing this work for a long, I was going to say a bad word, but I don't say bad words on the show. So I'll just say I've been doing it for a very long time. And you will start seeing tons of testimonials coming out. I have not really gone to market with any of my work. And in order to make this work, we're going to have to do that. So you'll see testimonials and you'll see people tell you the difference that has been made in their lives. And those are all real stories. Those are real people with real results. You know, I'm not out here trying to tell you how to make 7 figures and 8 figures and all this kind of, we're going to be nice, all that stuff. What I am here to do is guide you to a set of tools and behaviors that's going to have you change your life. You're going to change it because you're going to do the work. What I'm going to do is give you the pathway and give you some tools. And everything that I teach is road tested. And every time these guys say anything to you, it's road tested. And every time the other collective of students that you'll meet in the next months on the show, every time they speak, it's road tested. We're not telling you anything that we haven't done. And continue to do. That's the key. This isn't one and done, man. I wish it was. Oh, how I wish it was one and done. But it's not. Tracy, are you stabilized? Poor Trace. No, she's stuck now. Oh, yeah, she's got unstable internet where she is, unfortunately.
Better?
No, no, we're losing every other word. Karen, what else would you say? Anything? Do we want to say anything else?
I think looking at ego. I just keep saying ego. Looking at ego. But I love that. I think it's, and the 101 course is great too. I was doing some shadow boxing sessions while listening to it because guys, you can listen to it on your phone and on your app. So like for me, I was taking Amtrak from DC to New York, and at the same time of listening to it, I was able to do some shadow boxing sessions. I mean, for me, I do it on my phone and I write it out on my notes app. Noelle knows that I don't have a printer. But print the stuff that she has. But you can really, you goes through, forgiving things in your life, forgiving people in your life, doing the work, because you got to do the back end stuff. And sometimes you got to, I've done shadow box work for 10 years now. And sometimes you got to keep doing it. So it's okay to go back.
You almost always have to keep doing it because it's like, I feel like the shadow work is like layers, right? Like and the big thing with the forgiveness course is, we forgive everybody else. Like, okay, first of all, it's hard to forgive, but when we get to forgiveness, we forgive other people. We forget to forgive ourselves.
Oh yeah.
And that's a huge piece. And I talk about that. Prosperity 101 kind of runs you through, like, I think it's 5 or 6 modules of the basics. And then there is a forgiveness course and a self-worth course that dig in a little deeper onto those 2 issues, because I feel like those are sticking points for people. I think people get stuck with the self-worth because they misunderstand the difference between self-confidence and self-worth and some other things. They miss the part that you're inherently valuable as a human being just because you're here. And so that course digs into that. And then the forgiveness course really just goes through, I give you some steps and things to work through, and I talk in the middle module about self-forgiveness. That's huge. You got to forgive yourself for the pieces that, were part of the puzzles. And lots of times we forget that part. So every course has a workbook, by the way. And you guys should know every written part that you see. Obviously, the videos are me. And every workbook, I did all that myself. Okay. I didn't farm that out to anyone. AI didn't write it for me. I did it myself. And the videos are me. So if I take a pause, you're going to see the pause. I don't edit that shit out because it's me. If you were sitting with me one-on-one and having a coaching appointment, you would see me pause to think about what the next best thing to say to you is. Or you might see me miss a word and then go back and correct myself. I did that on purpose. It's not because I can't afford good help. It's because I want to be authentic. I want you to know that this is me. I built the school for you. It is my gift to you. I want you to understand that it's me. And I'm not trying to hide my imperfections, and I don't want you to hide yours. I don't want you to pretend that you're something that you're not. I want you to learn how to embrace everything about you so that you can have the life that you want instead of the one that you're settling for. And in my mind, the principles that bring you there are unbreakable wisdom, hence the name of the new brand. Unbreakable wisdom. There are things that are just true, no matter what, through all time. A lot of the wisdom that we are going to be sharing in the community and that we'll share in the school with you, this is stuff that's been around over 200 years and longer. These are not new concepts. They are just concepts that people fall out of practicing, like Karen said. She's one of my best students, and she's telling you she fell off for the last year, right? And I have fallen off in the last month with cleaning my desk. You guys would be so not proud of me if you saw my desk right now in the area in which I created all of this for you. However, Albert Einstein had a very messy desk, I would just like to point out. Okay, so we want to help you, and the way that we're going to do that besides the show is I built you a school, and I'd love for you to go visit it at unbreakablewisdom.com. If you use the code birthday up until 11:55 p.m. on Monday, which is my actual birthday, you will save 40% off the two bundles that exist. There's one called Unbreakable Foundations, and there's one called The Game Changer. And the Game Changer actually pretty much gives you everything in the school for $197, and 40% off of that is like $118. And I think it's like 4 or 5 or 6 courses. I mean, if you want to change, if you want to enter the fourth quarter in a different way, if you want to be different in 2026, I highly encourage you to, at the very least, go and join the mailing list. Go to unbreakablewisdom.com. Watch some of the back shows. Please share it with everyone that you know. We want everyone to have access to this. Go take a free class. What do you have to lose? If you hate it, don't come back.
Just start with that.
Just take a free class. This is about helping you. But you know what? You have to help yourself in order for us to help you. You got to get yourself there. You got to take a free class or join the mailing list or come back and watch the show every Saturday. Tracy's pretty much with me every Saturday. Karen's going to be with us as much as she wants to be. And we're here, and we'll keep talking about the stuff that makes a difference. And we'll keep shoving you towards unbreakablewisdom.com, because that's where we can stay in community with you and you can find out what's happening. So my birthday is Monday, and this is my birthday gift to you, Unbreakable Wisdom. So use it wisely. Anybody want to say anything before we tap out?
No, I think it's great.
Trace, I unmuted you.
Trace.
Oh, all right. April's asking if I have a post.
Chat.
Yeah, okay. She wants me to read the chat.
Okay.
The community is a wonderful place to land. It is of utmost importance to be around people who will support you, speak truth into you, and hold you accountable for who you want to be. April is asking if there is a post to share. At 10:30 this morning, a post will go live on the Working Strategist, and it will sort of tell the story of me and the school, and it will give unbreakablewisdom.com. And also, as soon as the show is over, I will put a bunch of text above the show for today, which will include the code. So you will be able to share that as well. So if you just give me, April, 5 or 10 minutes, as soon as I get off the video, I will make that happen. And then share it, you guys. Anyone who's listening to this show, share. We want to help as many people as possible. And yeah, I'm 57. So for the rest of the time that I'm here, and I saw some lady yesterday, she's the oldest lady in the whole world. She's 116. I'm going to live to about 105. So I have plenty of time left to help as many people as possible. And I want you to help me help them. That's your job. So share the show, share the free classes, get people. Let's create a movement of unbreakable wisdom, right? Let's help people. April says I have 5 minutes. All right. Challenge accepted. April sent me, by the way, the nicest gift. She had her friend Christine Sutter, who makes these custom oil blends. And they sent me this beautiful box yesterday with this special oil for the celebrating the launch. That was made based off like my astrological profile and stuff, and came with this little affirmation, and was just such a beautiful, beautiful gift. I was so honored to receive such a thing from a friend. It was beautiful. All right, we went a little overtime, but oh well. Monday is my birthday. What you can do for me is share this show and share Unbreakable Wisdom. Share, share, share. I never really ask you guys for anything, and I'm asking you now. Start sharing this brand, because we're out to help people. And from where I'm sitting, the world needs a lot of help. So I love you. I hope you have a beautiful week, and we will be back here next Saturday. I'll see you then.